What up, good people? Hold on. I ain't feel like setting up nothing. So we gonna do this live. Um, okay. All right. It's gonna kind of be a little bit of a rant. Um, I'm Brooke the Great, by the way. And if you wonder who the hell told me I'm great, well, that's what I want to talk about. That's why we chatting here tonight, this Good Friday night. I put a link in the description so that you can see this in the inner circle. We just finished watching Dr. Joe Dispenza's new documentary, Source, and he got me going. I don't even know if it was that groundbreaking, right? Perhaps, but basically, if you're not familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, what's up, Step? Um, if you're not if you're not familiar with his work, right? How could we put it in simple terms? One, you should get familiar with his work. He is doing what pastors have claimed to have been doing for decades, but haven't been doing. And that's what I like about it. And if you get into the science of, so what am I talking about? When it comes to healing, when it comes to transforming the body, when it comes to, and we're talking spontaneous healing. So a lot of what I do is about helping people work the body, right? It's working the mind as well, but we get into changing the diet, we get into detoxification. But at the end of the day, underneath all of this is the power, is the force, right? These things help put your body in a receptive state because when we take plant medicine, when we eat certain foods, those foods have consciousness. And the consciousness of those things speak to the consciousness of your cells. So you can get the same result. But I'm fascinated. This is what frustrates me, right? All the surface level shit. I think the documentary was good for people who need to see. Like you got to see first before you come to a definitive conclusion about whatever, right? You got to see the evidence. And I ain't got no problem with it. I think there's a time for science and it helps us. Reason is good. Reason helps you understand. So when you see people, and I was hoping there was a couple of, if you go to Dr. Joe Dispenza's YouTube page, he got tons and tons and tons of testimonials. Here's the thing that I don't understand, right? How is it that you say you interested in healing and you interested in the so-called supernatural? You're interested in the metaphysics. You're in, like, how are you saying you're interested in all these things, but you don't saturate your mind with it until you become one with it? Like it's just okay to be surface level. So my past frustrations with the church has been it's either, I think it was your homie Jesus who said, these works that I have done, so will you do, and even greater. Why aren't you doing those works? Why aren't you doing even greater works? How is it that a man, I don't know Dr. Joe Dispenza's, religious or spiritual affiliations or practices or none of that. His approach is always he wants to take that out of it. He wants to stick specifically to the science because he feels like religion and spirituality separates people, right? So it doesn't matter. What matters is he getting results. He getting results. How is it? How is it that people are able to move into a meditative state, right? That causes them vibrationally to shift. which puts them in a new state of being, which in essence has them vibrating on a different frequency. How is that alone able to cause tumors to shrink? You don't think that's worth asking? How is that able? And I want you to go watch a documentary, especially if you're interested in the science, because they've gone and they have a team of neuroscientists, and they got a team of microbiologists, and they got a team of um so on and so blood specialists, and they're pulling the data. And I like how Dr. Dispenza talks about how he pulled his team together, and all the doctors were skeptical. All the doctors were skeptical, and that's good. Skepticism is good until they saw them results. My favorite results. There's a lady on the documentary who it was a sister. And I think her background, I think she was, I don't know if she was a medical doctor, but she was a PhD, maybe. I don't know. She went and had her thyroid removed, right? Got into and maybe we got to explain, and you got to do your due diligence on this, right? When we start talking about meditation, and what Dr. Dispenza specializes in is heart coherence, right? And I like how he always says, when you sit your ass down to meditate, and this is Rook translation, right? But when you sit down to meditate, because of course you don't have to sit down to meditate, but whatever your practice is, if you are sitting down, you should not get back up feeling the same way you did when you sat down, or you didn't do anything. You didn't change. You didn't experience the change. And the message of the whole of all of his work is just about four words: you are the healer. You are the healer. Like, in the inner circle, I get requests for us to talk about different things, and I ain't got no problem with it. But quite frankly, a lot of the surface level shit just no longer interests me. I don't want to argue about micros, macros, nutrients. I don't care about that shit. I understand its role. I think we got to talk about it. I think it's important for people, especially when as you're transitioning. I understand that it was important for me as I was transitioning, but how can you know that there are people reversing cancer by way of just manipulating energy, and you ain't the least bit intrigued by that? I don't. Is it just me? Like, how does that not pique your interest just a little bit? That I'm trying to think of every example, because he had a bunch of testimonials. He had a doctor that had cancer and went through chemo. The chemo made him worse. He stopped the chemo. And I'm talking about, when I say spontaneous healings, these people are going to these retreats and going in day one in a wheelchair, and on day seven coming out walking. I ain't never seen that in the church. I wanted to see it. I believed in it, but I ain't never see that in the church. These people are creating these, I'm gonna call them prayer circles. They didn't call them prayer circles, but what's equivalent to a prayer circle, right? Shifting energy, right? Around this one person. The good book says, where two or more are gathered, there will I be also. And helping to, that's how you intercede on the behalf of another person. I just want to know what we're talking about. I just want to know the conversations that we're talking about. Like, surface level shit just annoys me right now. And I know it's me. I know it's not anybody else. It's a reflection. But the point in all of this is, why would you settle for anything less than the absolute best? Why would you settle for any suggestion that you need anything outside of yourself to transform your health, to reverse illness, when there is evidence? I could see we didn't have no evidence, right? But we got evidence. How do you see other people doing this and you don't see it for yourself? Like, you got to ask yourself, what's wrong? What's happening? What is happening in here? What I'm something is broken here, and I didn't break it. Or, well, did I break it? I was certainly influenced, right? When you start thinking about your mind being broken, like who broke it? You think about society, programming, your parents, your all of the whatevers, right? But at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. It's about you right now, where you are, what resonates with you, what piques your interest. Why are you not leaning into that? Why are you not doing your own due diligence? Why are you not questioning why your grandmother was so faithful? God bless grandma. So faithful. So faithful. Praying lady, right? Could recite the Bible from almost from front to back. Why did she suffer like she did before she left this earth? You never question that. Why you don't question that? Why didn't God heal her? Why do you have people in your family right now who are believers and they're in worse condition than people who are not? I think this is an important question to ask. No, it's just me. How is it? Let the church tell it. If you're not in the church, then you're a heathen, right? How is it that the heathens are getting results and church niggas not? I need to know. So anyway, the science of it is what they go into. The science of it is what they discuss, right? Eh, Go and look at it for yourself, right? You can do whatever. I think it was okay. I don't know if it'll draw as many people as it could, but this is what I do know. I think the documentary will draw who it needs to draw. And when people tell me what's not possible or what's hard, I know they not in the lane. Like you not staying right here. Like if there was a story of this lady who, and again, you go to Dr. Joe Dispenza's YouTube page, and he has testimonial after testimonial after testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. So when you say things like what's not possible, like when you say, well, yeah, I kind of believe so and so, but what? It's either you getting the results or you not. Like, what are you even doing to move yourself in a direction to get the results that you want? It's what are you willing to leave behind? That's all I've been hearing. That's all I've been hearing. That's all I've been hearing for the past week, 2 weeks. Leave it all behind. And I'm like, damn, like shit, I ain't think I had much more to leave behind. Got my ass out right now. Pause. No, but what is it that you're willing to leave behind? And shifting from one, I think we should probably talk about like when I keep saying timelines and when I say take quantum leaps, like, do you understand what that means? And when you hear people say things that you don't understand, do you make a damn note? Do you open up a tab to say, what that shit really mean? You keep saying, I keep hearing it. What does it mean? So that you get an understanding. And initially, you may not. You may get the information, but you may not get the understanding. That's where your trusting comes from. Like it's got to be something in you that knows that you it's impossible for you to be cut off. Like it ain't nothing that I can gatekeep from you. There's some things I ain't never sharing ever. It's just certain things I can't because don't nobody get it. Nobody. It's just what it is, and I'm cool with that. I got a lot of invisible friends. I hang out with them, and that's cool. However, it ain't nothing I can gatekeep from you. It ain't nothing nobody can gatekeep from you. And the problem that I got is not even with the sleepers. The sleepers are doing what they supposed to do. It's those us niggas who say we bout it, that say we conscious, that say we so-called the real woke or whatever the hell else. And now, and you know what we do with our time? We talking about what the world is doing. We talking about what they doing with the food. Why you can't override what they doing with the food? You talk about what the algorithm is doing. Why you can't override the algorithm? The algorithm greater than you? Wow. Damn. Wow. Because at a certain point, it ain't but so much you're going to be able to do, right? Can you grow your own food right now? Can you? All of it? Sufficient for you and your family? Okay, then What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Panic? Fear? Lose your mind? You telling me this you can't be healed? Like I got protocols for what we do to help people. Hey, I tell you, you gotta pull back, bro. You gotta chill out on the meat. You gotta chill out on the processed foods. You gotta cut out the fast foods. You gotta go heavy into the fruit. We gotta get into the water, those foods that are saturated with electrolytes and water, right? But I worked with a lady in South Africa and she didn't have access to a lot of stuff. So what you mean to tell me she was cut off from healing? You mean to tell me it wasn't possible for her because she couldn't get certain fruits? Sound like some physical bullshit to me. I just am interested in talking to the people who are no longer interested in operating from the physical. Those are really the only people I want to talk to. Let me know if it's you. Just let me know. Just holler at me. I, I I am not interested in talking about how powerful we are. I'm not interested in talking about the oh, go to the ancient this and here's the connection because we the real they lying about. I don't give a damn if you can't take none of that and improve your life with it. You know all of that and still sick. We know all of that still broke. We know all of that still lonely, still heartbroken, still without love, still depressed, still stressed out. What is the point? Mental masturbation. Mental masturbation is what it is. And YouTube is cool. I ain't got no problem with the internet. I ain't got no problem with technology. I think it's amazing. We chopping it up right now. Anybody from all over the world can tap in. I ain't got no problem with it. But it becomes one of those things where we just like to get our rocks off online. We just come and we just hanging out. And ain't nothing wrong with hanging out. I like to hang out. I'm all for a good time. Couple laughs. Well, what your life looking like though? Cause that's the shit that I know that you can't run from. You can't. You can see it all over your face. That's why you aging. You out of order. We out of order. And it's my hope for you that that shit break you down to nothing. You're welcome. Ask me how I know about it so well. It's the stripping away of everything that is not real. What is it? Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. We ain't learned the fundamentals. That's the only thing I'm interested in is in the fundamentals. I don't want to argue surface level shit. I just don't. And so when I see, you know what I like about Dr. Joe Dispenza too? Not one time have I seen this man, and somebody can send it to me if you have I seen him ever arguing with anybody about his shit? I ain't never seen him argue. I ain't never seen him debating. I seen him putting in the work and getting the results. That's all I've seen. Every video, every interview I've seen him done and do, and I've seen tons of them, hours upon hours upon hours. And he may tap on, well, you know what people misunderstand is this or that, but he ain't never arguing what he know because you don't argue the truth. And when you getting results, what am I going to talk to? What are we going to talk about? It's like me arguing with you about you saying I need some meat. And December will make 10 years since I've had some. I'm not arguing with you. You do what you think is best for you. This is what I know. If you was as secure in what you are and what you was doing, it wouldn't matter. You'd be like, oh, that's cool. This is what I'm doing right here. This will work for me. And that'd be the end of it. Know thyself. Know thyself. Hey, Akuna. Know thyself. Yeah, Akuna, I got a little hype after we had a watch party tonight in the circle. And this is what we watch. This is all we do in the inner circle. I, we, I'm not interested in regular nigga shit. I don't care. Unless you got some laughs for me. I am. If you got some funny stuff, I'm for that all day long. But outside of that, I'm about results. I'm about, am I seeing a change in my life? Am I living life in the way that I desire? When I got this damn gold notebook that's full of shit, Am I seeing it unfold to my liking? Am I getting what I want? And I got this new mantra that came up for me. And it's like, I am Rook the Great, and I only say yes to the best. Only saying yes to the best thoughts, to the best ideas, to the best circumstances, to the best possibilities, to the best outcomes. And guess what else? To the best versions of mofos who I encounter. And if you can't give me your best, I don't want that shit. I don't want a piece of you. I don't want surface level. I don't want none of that. I'm not interested. Get that to everybody else. I'm only saying yes to the best. And I'm just wondering what would happen if for 1 minute we would just entertain the idea that life can be exactly what I want. I ain't got like, what is this affinity that we got for suffering? And I'm saying we because I know it. I know it well. I've taken great pride in my ability to suffer. And I ain't even gonna say I ain't proud of it because I am. I just feel like most of society's soft as hell. I saw somebody complaining on Twitter last week. It was some video that went viral. I don't know what country it was. The people didn't have like AC or it was hot as hell. I'm like, nigga, what is we talking about? Think about childhood when you have no AC. You ain't been in your grandma house with one fan, two fans that was circulating hot air. And you what are we doing? That's all I'm asking. I'm saying there are certain, and this is where I'm staying as far as like staying in my lane. The people who want to do whatever y'all doing in the physical, have at it. I'm not interested. The people who I got my eye and they keep popping up, like my algorithm is phenomenal. Every time I come on YouTube, I only see the best shit. I don't see. I mean, every blue moon, it might be like where they got the news section. I might see something that has breaking news that come across. I don't see none of that other stuff because I ain't in tune with that. I see, you know what you want to really know what I see? I see money, I see business, I see health, I see healing, I see spirituality, power. That's all I want to know. That's all I'm saturating my life with. I can't see what you see. I'm incapable. And when I see those of us who caught up like still in race stuff, I already know. I already know where you at. I already know where you at. And you ain't there. You're cutting yourself off. And going back to the whole idea of what Dr. Joe Dispenza has coined, I don't know if he's coined this, but I've only heard of him speak of it to this degree about heart coherence, that something happens when the heart, matter of fact, this book right here, The Heart's Code. You want to get into some science of heart, brain, heart, mind coherence? You know, when the Bible references when the Bible references the heart, it means subconscious. I have to stop saying that scripture short. I have to stop saying as a man thinketh, so is he. It's as a man thinketh in his heart. And the heart is a subconscious mind. So is he. So most of us circling through it's coming to me so clear now. It's the power that we're running from. Like, it's some people who can't see their power at all. It's just totally just blind. There are other people that can see it in others, but they can't see it in themselves, right? Then you have those who can see it in themselves and they use it to hype themselves up, but they never do nothing with it. They never do nothing. They're too afraid. It's like the cliff. I'll get to the cliff, but I won't jump. I won't jump. And that's what I figured out is required for you to live exceptional, for you to really transform your health. That's why I rock with health so heavy, because it's the foundation. It's the foundation. It's transformative. It's health and wellness, where I am in my mind, where I am in my body, where I am in my spirit, like how these things are in sync with one another. And the body is only reflecting discord of the mind. That's it. That's it. All of the sexual issues we see people struggling with, whether it's women and fertility, whether it's the fellas and ED, you living out of order. You're living out of order. And there's an answer though. That's the good freaking news, right? There's an answer. Why aren't we using it? Why aren't we tapping into it when it's right there? Like, I told a group tonight, what I figured out is there's just certain things that I got to do. And I got to stop trying to not even expect other people to do it, or maybe that's the right way to say it. I got to do it. I got to do it. And a nigga get tired sometimes. I ain't going to lie to you. Especially if you've been at this thing for a while. But even that, right? Like even hearing myself say that, that's an affirmation, right? Because if it's all good, if all things work together for good, then it's all good, right? But there are certain things that only you can do. There are certain things like it's a domino effect that there are things that could be impacted and people could be impacted by you getting in position, by you getting in order. And you won't get in order because you're afraid. You're afraid. It sounds spicy, right? To talk that shit. I like a good shit talker myself. I do. But will you really leave it behind? Like, will you really, really choose yourself first? No, you won't because you got all these hangups. I like how Bashar references as we got definitions, right? We got these definitions of what's good and what's bad and what's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do. Like the desire is telling you this is what it is, and all you got to do is just move into that. That's where you turn over, right? Last video we was talking about divine timing. There is you get to decide what it's going to be. The how, that's out of your hands. We don't know how it unfolds. That's beyond us. That's the mystery, right? It's people out here doing some I hate to call it miraculous. I hate to keep referencing that because it to me it puts separation between you and it when it's just your innate ability to command whatever it is that you want. And I have been stubborn with certain things in life, but can't nobody ever say that Rook the Great ain't was ever afraid to bust a move. That when I finally got it, oh, I'll bust a move quickly. And I've done it ever since I was 15 years old that I can remember. I will bust that move. And until you dive into that part in you that because you hear it, right? I don't wake nobody up. You can't even hear me without your eyes being open, without your ears being open. No, it's already there. You resonate. If you can hear me, nigga, you tapped in. What are you gonna do with it? Like, does that not drive you? Do you ever just sit and think, like, if I just could, what? I just need to see how far I can go. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Like, how far can you really go? Every time I see more of my peers, right, that I grew up with or that I knew, it's this slope. I think it happens. I think it happens around, start creeping up around age 32, maybe. It's this something that happens with people that the realization that I'm not where I want to be and I'm not who I want to be slowly start to creep in. And it worsens, I think, about 35. And it seems to be this like the cliff is at 35 and through. It's almost like, and I think there's some science behind this. I believe I've heard Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about how, for the most part, who people are by age 35 is just who they're gonna be. Not because they stuck, not because they don't have other options, but it's locked in. And what it requires to step out of that, to take a leap, to leave behind what's familiar, to get uncomfortable, most people are unwilling to do. And I see the life coming out of people. I see the people who I know are talented and smart and gifted and had dream. Like I've heard them. I used to listen to them talk about their dreams and aspirations, and that shit drive me. I'm gonna tell you, like, not me. And that's what you got to say to yourself when you see illness around you, when you see death around you. Like, you cannot let that shit consume you. It's got to be something in you that says, No, not me. Mm-mm. I don't care who go out. It's the same thing I said during COVID. Nigga, everybody around me could drop dead. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I salute you on your journey, my friend. Not me. Like, what is your not me? Like, if everybody ain't gonna make it, nigga, I ain't gonna be everybody. Point blank, period. I'm not interested in talking about what I didn't get and who didn't give it to me. So what? I know now. Like, if life was really wanting to be in this tussle with me, wanting to try to take me out, which couldn't happen because life is just me, but whatever, we'll entertain it. It should have did that a long time ago. That's all you need to see. That's all you need to see. You need to see you. Like, that's where the convincing comes in. You need to see you bust some moves, and that's when you convince you. That's when you start to come into this knowing that I am her, I am him, I cannot be touched, right? I cannot be stopped. The hell, well, what everybody else talking about, the hell what everybody else is doing. And I told Mom Dukes that. We had a conversation. I was like, listen, I can't speak for everybody else, right? I said, but I can tell you what I've seen. And what I've seen my entire life is people settle. And I think that's where religion really comes in and helps people. Religion is trying to help you settle in your mind and in your spirit with a life that you don't want, with a life that you don't like, with a person you don't like. Like, that's why y'all got to keep having all them damn marriage retreats, because y'all hate each other ass. You hate the bitch, okay? You hate his ass. And you know how you hate them? Because you feel so good when they gone. That's how you know right there. Every little thing they do. It ain't even a big deal what they doing. Right? They left some shoes out. They left that. She went and bought a pocketbook. It's not that big of a deal, right? If you really liked her, it wouldn't be no problem. But you don't like the bitch. And so you need religion to say, Lord, forgive me for these ugly, terrible thoughts, Lord. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be a good man. I'm going to do what God told me to do. And you're miserable. And then you wonder why you're sick. That's all I've seen. I said, Mom, I've seen my whole life. Everybody around me settle. Everybody. Maybe they didn't intentionally do it. Maybe it just slipped up on them. I can't do that. And I'm willing to burn this shit down every single time if necessary. I burn it all down. But I don't ask you to do that. I can't ask you to do that. I never asked somebody to do something. Listen, only you can decide what you're willing to put up. Only you can decide what's a good exchange for you. I know what I'm willing to put up. The question is, what are you? When I was at my sickest, like on my back, literally, like just looking, laying on the couch, like, bitch, you was supposed to be healthy. Like, you go to the gym 5 times a week. You got all these your arms is ripped. You done cleaned up your diet. You following the mainstream, health diet. What is wrong? You got all these answers. How are you on your back right now? Oh, ain't nothing like a come to Jesus moment, ain't it? I needed answers. But I wasn't afraid to ask the question, well, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm going about this the wrong way? What if I'm missing something? What if what I thought was truth ain't? What I thought the right way is not the right way? What if I gotta pivot? What if I gotta put my beliefs on the altar? Oh, you thought the altar was where you go to church and you just, no, nigga. That's where you leave behind the physical mind. You offer it up. All of what I thought was right. Right? Well, I hold so near and dear to me. I put it all up. I don't care about no beliefs. That's why if you go back and look at some of my videos, I'm in a transitory period right now. So shit, what I post next week might be different or conflicting what I'm saying today to some degree. I don't hold on to. I got one fundamental basis that I stand on and I come back to every single time. If I ever get confused, if I'm ever, off my game a little bit, you know what that is? The first Hermetic principle: all is mind, the universe is mental. That settles everything. Every debate you could have, it settles it all. All is freaking mind. The universe is mental. So guess what that means? It come back to me. No matter what nobody doing. So I ain't complaining about the people around me. I'm not complaining about my environment. I'm not complaining about the government. I ain't complaining about no doctors. I'm gonna tell you, I want to hear y'all niggas complaining about no damn doctor when you going to them. See, what you gotta do is figure out how to be confident enough not to go. That ain't what you got down pat yet. You feel a little uneasy. And you shouldn't. Now don't never go against your own good reason and good common sense. Don't be out here damn bleeding like, oh, I know my mind will heal this. You gonna die, nigga. Okay. You better call 911. Know thyself. Know thyself. I think that's what helped save me throughout my journey. I never went chasing what nobody else was doing. Even if I thought something was curious, I was like, huh. But I never just went, oh, let me go try this. Oh, they're doing ayahuasca now. Let me go do the mud. If I feel led to do that, that's one thing. But I ain't doing it because I feel like I'm deficient where I am and I need that thing to take me over. That savior complex. So all I know is people out here getting results. All I know is people out here living phenomenal. There are people who have left. I don't know if the concept of old earth, new earth means anything to you, but there's a shift, right? There's a shift that's happening on this planet. And this is why I think it's on my ass right now that I just everything in the reality that I am leaving have left gotta stay behind. And the only way that you can ride with me going forward, you gotta meet me there. I can't, yeah, can't. And whoever that is, whatever that is, mm, I see the rightness in it. Like that's what gives you the peace. Like I ain't leaving nobody behind. I'm letting go of that which is no longer in vibrational sync with me. That's gonna happen by default, even with people in your life, partnerships, friendships, whatever the hell. One or two things gonna happen. As you rise, they're gonna rise with you, or they're gonna fall away. That's just how it works. So whoever that is, like I guess the question would be to ask yourself, what is worth my well-being? What is worth me being in phenomenal health? What is worth living my ideal life? Like, well, I feel like my mama, I can't let her down. Well, cool. I can't let my baby girl down. Okay, cool. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is, because we got things. We got the hangups. So whatever the hangups are, I'm just saying, if you don't take assessment, you're gonna wake up like many people who I know and care about, and you're gonna see that damn, I don't know what I've been doing. And I'm going out like everybody else. If success leaves clues, so does illness. So does victimhood. So does it leaves clues. I love my folks. I love my upbringing. I love being a country gal. I love all of that. But my path is different. And when you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So check out the documentary if you if there's another one called Heal too. I think they kind of get into I don't know, it's been a while since I watched it. But if you're interested in healing, why aren't you looking and researching? I mean, all you got to do is put it into Google. I mean, YouTube search. You should be looking for everything. Everything. I wouldn't look at no story. I wouldn't look at nothing. It's like women who preparing to give birth. Why would you look at horrible birth stories? Wow, if you're planning to do something that's not conventional, why would you listen to anybody telling you a story of Their scenario that didn't go well doing that. What that got to do with you? How would you put that in your spirit? Why would you put it in your mind? So now that you got images circulating in your mind that's helping to create scenarios that you don't want to be true. No, you saturate your life with what it is that you want. And that's all I see. That's all I can see right now. I see people flourishing. I see people thriving. I see people living on their own terms. I see people making money in very unconventional ways. I see it's heaven. This is the whole unfolding of the Bible, the inner revelation. Like, how do you leave the world of appearances and move and bask into the world of the unseen, where it's all going down anyway? That heart head coherence. And at a certain point, you can't fight no more. This is part of my task right now. I'm a fighter. And certain things I'm not being allowed to fight no more. It just is what it is. I think I've moved beyond, right? The hardships. I've graduated beyond that. I don't want to do it the hard way. Okay. I don't want to prove anything to anybody. Never again. Nothing. I don't want to clarify. I don't want to do, you can call it whatever you want. If you can see me, you can see me. If you want to commune with me, meet me at the heart. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Otherwise, get the hell on. And I'm so confident in being right where I'm supposed to be. When I'm supposed to be there, I'll be right with who I'm supposed to be, with who I'm supposed to be, whatever the peoples are, wherever they are, hey, they'll be there. That's how you start to make a shift. That's how you start. You pull away from the world and you put your focus on yourself. That's what a meditative practice is. That's what it's about. It's putting you in a state of receptivity. If I take my attention off the world, I'm taking my attention off my problems. I'm taking my attention off of stress. All the things. Good book says, judge not by appearances. It's telling you to stop judging by what your physical eye is showing to you. You don't judge by the circumstance because it's the state. It's your state of being that shifts things. And that's what these people showed in that damn documentary, how they shifted their state. And what turned me on so much was spontaneous. I got to get to one of them retreats. I just want to be in the midst. Like, you get a room of thousands of people and everybody on one accord. Oh my God. What? What? I just, yeah. Let me see what that's like. I've seen what it's like in a church setting, right? And everybody they stretch their hands out, but don't nobody get healed though. Don't nobody get healed. Don't nobody get healed. Everybody in my family right now, Bible thumpers and sick. Nobody finds that strange. Nobody finds that strange. Nobody finds a problem like it's not troublesome to their spirit. And this is why, if you can hear me, you got to know that you're the one, because it's something that's clicking for you. The fact that these things even matter to you, the fact that this conversation even intrigues you, lets you know. Like, I want you to feel like you special. I ain't saying that other people ain't special, but I want you to feel like you special. Cause you got the gift of hearing right now. And now the next thing becomes, what I'm gonna do with it. 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 Like, sitting with yourself, that's what I think we're afraid of. Sit with yourself, turn everything off. Look at your life. Look at your reality. Look around you. What I'm gonna do with it. That's the moments that really, I think, has the ability to really, oh my God. Akuna said, not just hearers, gotta be doers of the word. Doers. This is what saved me from religion. I wanted to be a student. I wanted to be, honestly, I wanted to help people. Like, I want people to understand. And I think something is going wrong with people don't understand. And I don't want to ostracize them for having questions. I want to be able to answer the questions. But when I started trying to answer them myself, woo, we ran into a few problems. And that's what blew the lid. on everything else. So you can say whatever you want about what I'm doing or how I'm doing. I ain't no sucker no more. That is what I know. I ain't no victim no more. I ain't sick no more. So maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't know. Maybe it's Satan who takes care of his kids, but not God. Or maybe perhaps your perception of God is off a little bit. Maybe it's all you. When they asked Jesus, "Who are you?" they wanted to know, like, who do we say you are? He says, no, he asked them, who do you say I am? That's what he was, that's what it's symbolic of. Who do you say I am? I am means awareness of being. What are you aware of being? And I ain't aware of being no victim. Hell no. No, I'm aware of being all powerful. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that when I step outside, I'm good. I'm protected. I was going walking and my sister was telling me about some snakes or some shit outside. I was like, listen, I hold no ill will to nature. It holds no ill will to me. I don't run into that type stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you should take this perspective, because if you ain't really in sync with that, results may vary. But I'm saying the more you shift, something happens. Nobody can explain it. You can listen to whoever you want throughout the internet. If a person tell you they can explain it, you better be suspicious. But there's a shift that happens in you. There's a shift that happens in you. It's like you be after a thing, you be studying, you be seeking, and then something happens and you shift and you never the same again. I can't explain certain things right now. Certain things I would like to explain. I'm unable to, because at a certain point you can try real hard and you can kind of get close, but how do you physically explain the non-physical? It's an experience. That's what the entire Bible is about. That's what Revelation is about. The inner revealing. That's what Christ consciousness is. It's not about you learning what it is. It's about you living what it is. It's about you experiencing what it is. And even as I'm listening to myself talk, at a certain point, right, I would hear things like this and I resonated with it, but I didn't really understand it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I resonated with it, but I knew I wasn't experiencing it yet. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I had no doubt. I had complete belief. That's the secret. I had complete belief that was what was for me, that I couldn't be cut off. And at the point times where I felt really like when I first had my awakening, I'm like, you as dumb as a box of rocks. You don't know nothing. Everything you know about everything is jacked up. And I'm like, where do you start? Like, it's really like being born again. I don't know what to start with. But I had complete faith. And when you got faith, that means you know that I'm going to get what I need to get when I need to get it. I ain't never going to be cut off. Like, even if I feel like things are happening in the world and I'm not caught up on it, I'm going to be good no matter what. I'm going to get the understanding I need to get when I need to get it. I'm going to get the books I need to get. I'm going to run into the right people. Like, I can't be late. I'm just telling you what's possible if you're interested. There's another way of doing this life thing if you're interested. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I'm not interested in the people who are not. I think I had to check myself with my approach on certain things, because those of us who know we out of order and we supposed to be doing things, we spending too much time focused on the people who are unwilling, the people who don't want to do, who not interested, who whatever the hell. We're out of order because our attention shouldn't be on that at all. So that's all I'm focused on, because this is what I know. And I had somebody tell me, well, Rook, I don't really know if there's a lot of people that's really going to kind of, you know, I don't know how they framed it. Something to the effect of if they really understand it in the way that you explain and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not my concern. Like when you know, just move. That like the do you feel me? Like when you know, man. You know it's the rightness in that thing. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I see some of the whatever, but I don't know what y'all talking about. I swear to God, I don't. I just be listening like, what? Huh? Why are we focused on that? There's greater for you. There's something that people need to see you do. There's something that you need to see you do. So anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Check out Dr. Joe Dispenza. Get into his work if you feel so led to do. Um, he breaks a lot of the science down of what's happening. They got the scans. They got the brain scans. They have shown that it's interesting. Like I said, I don't really. It doesn't matter to me. Like when a person is transformed, I don't care. Like they found this new protein they were talking about in a documentary, serpent A5, which is like an immune protein. They found it in people who meditate. All that's cool. I ain't got no problem with it. The science is cool. I love it. Wonderful. Are you getting results or are you not? That's the only thing I'm concerned with. That's the only thing you should be concerned with. As I start to know things, like, and I hear myself saying things, it's like, Rook, are you getting results or you not? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And if I can't call a thing that is not as if it was, if I can't say to that mountain, move and it move, eh, I got other things I got to focus on. You know what I'm saying? I got other things, and that's what I'm gonna do. So there are people moving, there are people getting results, there are people transforming their lives, there are people who are acting. That's how you know when people the whole act of initiation. You initiated the moment that you yield, the moment that you can hear, bam, you initiate yourself. I ain't got no problem with rituals. I see the purpose in it, right? But at the end of the day, the moment that things were passing you by and you didn't blink at it, the moment that you do, you initiate it. The moment that you can see, right? You can noise has been coming in your ear all this time. You couldn't hear it. And the moment you turn, like from there, now you get to decide. That's where the free will comes in. What you gonna do with it? Now, I am to the point. I think some of us are so tapped in that we've already chose this lifetime. We can kind of run in circles a little bit. We can kind of tap dance and say we're gonna do this and then we're gonna get back to that. But we ain't escaping it this lifetime. We ain't gonna have no other choice but to get in order. That's where some of us fall. Get in where you fit in. Ain't no right or wrong. Ain't no right or wrong. Like, know thyself. There's nothing that I should say that should have you in your feelings, unless you in your feelings, nigga. And that's a you problem. So think about it. Shout out to Dr. Joe getting it done. I freaking love it. Shout out to the lady that was in the video. It was a sister who had her thyroid removed and then she grew it back. I love it. I love it. The doctor was so shocked when he went back in to do an autopsy. He dropped the ultrasound. It's miraculous things that are going on, people. You got to get in position. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. There's a lot of time. I don't like the idea of wasting because I don't think nothing is wasted. I just don't believe that. But we spend a lot of time holding ourselves up. Coming back to the whole concept of waiting on divine timing. I swear to you, most of it is you. Most of it is you. When I replay things prior in my life, I knew I can go back to certain scenes that said, Rook, what are you doing? Rook, how long you gonna do this? Rook, how long you gonna do this? Rook, you know you can't live like this. It was there. It wasn't no divine timing. It was there. That was my spirit speaking to me. That was the divine speaking to me. But I didn't move. So always asking yourself, like, what is it that I'm paying attention to the world, as I'm studying the world, and that's cool, whatever, do whatever you like. Make sure you study yourself. That's all I got for you, good people. Have a good Friday night. Get a good meditation in. Go to the other side. See what you discover. What happens when you spend some time in the stillness? See what happens. All right, good people. Peace.